Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch and be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be a part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench, which is right below in memory of our friends. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, even though you're approved, but just enjoy watching this on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. You can enter your questions or comments right over here to the left or to the right, depending on your screen in the chat box. And I'll do my best to add your comments or questions as part of the show. And understand, sometimes even I can't get a word in myself. So be patient. And I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can do that during a live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos, the contest coverage that Sparky does on this platform, informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Subscribe, share the videos, comments on the videos. All these activities or engagements help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And for only 17 cents a day, you get, incredible value. I mean, all the people that join my show, I have sometimes former national champions, sometimes former world champion, and people who have been doing this for 60 years plus, not to mention Sparky's 60 years plus. You can glean all these guys that have been doing this forever. You don't have to reinvent the wheel and just stand on the shoulders of giants already that have been doing this successfully for a long time. Save you a lot of time and help for your enjoyment of this hobby and sport. So for 17 cents a day, I think it's a steal at just $4.99 a month. So please support the channel. You also can show your support if you don't want to do the subscription by doing the super chat, which is right below this chat box. There's a big $sign. And you can donate that anytime you like during the live stream. Now, if you're having to watch in the replay, hit the super thanks, which is below the screen. It's I think it's the heart with a $sign in that. And that way you can support us even if it's not during the live stream. So those are multiple ways of supporting us. Please support us. We need your help. We need everyone to pitch in. By the way, I am a member myself. I have the $4.99 come out of my own checking account. So I'm not asking you to do something I'm not doing myself. I see the value of it. Matter of fact, it blows me away how many people who don't even see the value in it, but they do drink from the stream constantly, but yet they don't support it. So, but that's how life is. You have 20% doing all the support and 80% just basically taking advantage of the situation. I understand. Anyways, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. So if you want to get in touch with me, or if you have any comments or questions or even suggestions, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you would, locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video that Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his beautiful and light Junar XL. And it was a beautiful plane, in my opinion, and it flew really, really nice. One of the best flying planes I can remember flying. If I flew a better plane, I just don't remember. But check it out. I did the stunt pattern at the Nationals in front of 5 trained judges. It was a bucket list event day for me. I had a great time, and Sparky actually captured that on video. So check it out and comment if you will. If you have any questions, please, and tell me what you think. And if you happen to like it, please do that. Subscribe. All that doesn't cost you anything, as well as subscribing and liking here as well. So I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your children or grandchildren. One last thing. When you join our YouTube, the Stunthangar YouTube channel membership, what you get as a member, you get certain, you have access to member-only videos. There's many videos that Sparky, they're not for public consumption, only for members only. So you get access to those. Plus, Sparky and I can see our supporting patrons in the chat box. So we see there's a special moniker next to your name. It's just a special look. So we know who are supporting patrons. So if you want to be recognized as a supporter, and just even know that Sparky and I recognize you and see you, you're a supporter, please go ahead and join for those reasons. Anyways, without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link at stunthangar.com. Let's see here. We got it. And just give me a moment here while I post the link and also make my way to the what I call the control panel. So let me do that right now. Get rid of this and that. And here we go. All right, so the link is posted. I do get asked from time to time, how do I get into the show? And this is how you get into the show. You go to Stunthangar YouTube channel, stunthangar.com/SMF, and make sure you're a member and go find the at the bench link. And I just posted the link just momentarily ago. Matter of fact, Gordon Delaney. Hey, Gordon, you're the first one up. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate that. Let me just finish a little bit of cleanup here. I need to make my way to the what I call the control panel. Just bear with me for a second. I see there's some people already in the chat box. Fantastic. Let me make my way to the coming in. I appreciate that. Let me just finish. Hey, Sparky's here too. Just give me a second, you guys. Be right with you at my full attention. Matter of fact, boy, Gary Sinclair's in here. Thank you very much. Just give me another moment here. I'll make my way there to you guys. Just a second. Let's see here. We are live. We are streaming. We have 16 concurrent viewers. We have 8 likes. If you have not hit that like button, please smash that like button. It won't cost you a penny, and it helps the analytics of our Stunthangar YouTube channel. So we need your support. So please like and share, comment, super thanks, subscribe, all those activities. And let me see here. Just give me another moment here. I see that the first one in the chat box was Daniel Berry Highlights. And he says, hey, thank you very much, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Man, I love saying that. It gets my mouth going. So I can speak clearly. It's a good warm up. And then Dennis Adamison, he's a member of our YouTube channel. Like I said earlier, Sparky and I can see who our supporting patrons are. And if you want to be recognized as a supporting patron, please support us. Dennis Adamison says, like delivered, we'll join in shortly. And then Tom Rammel, he provides with a like. And then Gary Sinclair, another supporting member of our YouTube channel. He's also a monitor. He has that blue wrench. So tread lightly. Gary might knock you out. And then I guess there wasn't a link posted at the time when Sparky saw this. And then Terry Mitchell says, like sent. And then Marcel Legrand, he says, hi, Charles, and everyone at Stunt School. Yes, thank you very much. All righty, let me, you guys are now going to have my complete attention here. And Gordon, you was the first one in here. And I see Mark just came in. Thank you, Mark. And Mark Gerber just made his way in here. But Gordon, what you been up to? You've been finishing up your Pathfinder? What you been up to?
Well, I've been watching Roger Kramer try to get his airplane painted and clear. That P-51 Mustang he's done.
Oh, do you have it to show us? I know you said that you might show it to us.
Well, it's downstairs. So it's on the paint rack. And, you know, I can slide it off, but I hate to take his airplane without his permission.
All right. Yeah, we don't want you to be subject to a beatdown.
Well, he probably wouldn't care, but with my luck, I'd probably fall on it.
Oh, oh, damn.
It's a masterpiece.
Wow.
Absolutely gorgeous.
If you're saying that says a lot, because I've seen your masterpieces, your Tonys, the one that you and Roger Kramer built were just absolutely exquisite. So I know that it must be something else. That's awesome.
Yeah, we built our Tonys in my basement together.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Painted them together, inked them together.
Boy, what a treat for him to be able to work side by side with you, building and finishing.
Yeah, this is 640 squares. It's got dihedral, it's got the scoop, it's got the invasion stripes, and she's copying a full-size Mustang. It's got a blue nose on it, and the way he does his hatch is unbelievable. You know, I thought when he showed me those sliders on my cowl, you just slide the pin back and it releases the cowl.
Right.
Well, he didn't want that pin sticking up, so he put his brain to work and come up with a deal. It's got a little square box, and you push on the box, and the box rolls down, pulls the pin back, and lifts the top of the cowling off.
Oh, I got to see that. I got it. Yeah, when you get his permission, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, but it's electric, so I'm sure if it flies half as good as it looks, it's going to be incredible.
Wow, that's great. I look forward to seeing that.
So I really haven't been working on mine because I'm trying not to do any sanding.
Oh yeah, with the dust and all that. Yeah, with this finishing going on. Yeah, I understand that.
Tomorrow we're supposed to shoot the clear coat. He wants me to shoot it for him. So
what is your preparation for shooting clear in your shop? I mean, as far as getting the dust down, obviously you can't hose your walls down with water. So what do you do?
Well, I use a vacuum and I vacuum all the floors, the benches, you know, so you're not blowing dust around with my air hose. And then we just take and use Prepsol, wipe the airplane down really good. I open the window. I have a fan down there, and then in the family room, I opened another window. So it sucks the air in from the family room, pulls it through the shop and out the window. And that's basically all I do for the shop. You know, it'd be nice to be able to hose it down, but I don't think my wife can.
No, I don't know what kind of walls you have, but out here in California, we have sheetrock. That would be a mess.
Yeah, that's what I have is sheetrock. But you know, when I got my mill and my lathe downstairs, that's in my workshop. We got 2 workbenches. So, and then I have a pegboard that's up on one wall where I keep supplies. And then I have 2 double closets with bifolds. On one side I have a sig box with all my balsa wood.
Nice.
Side I got shelving in there for paint, and that's where I keep my paint.
Well, if I ever make it up to Utah, I know you told me my invitation's open to come anytime, but if I ever get a chance to go to Utah, I definitely would like to hang out with you.
Yep.
check out your shop and your planes.
We have a nice guest room.
I look forward to it, man. But I just don't know. I just wish it was on the way to a destination like the Nationals or
Yes.
Northern Regionals or
It is on the way to the Nationals.
not from Southern California. It's not.
Well, it depends if you go up to go on I-80 instead of I-70.
Okay, well maybe so. I just wouldn't think that would be on the way.
It's
You
not.
thought.
It's really not on the way, Charles.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It'd be like going to Mike Lonke's house
Yeah.
from here.
Well, I've been to the Nat several times, and it's 1,700 miles one way. So,
Wow. Well, thank you very much, Gordon. And I appreciate you coming in. I forgot the order who came in next, but let me
Hey, it's Sparky.
it was Sparky. Hey Sparky, what you up to, man? I see you're working on the rudder.
Just getting this covered. I wanted to come in and thank Mark Gerber. And I really love that hat. I haven't worn it yet, but it's in the box still. I just was wondering if you could possibly pay more for shipping. That's ridiculous.
Well, I wanted a box that's big enough that it wouldn't crush the hat.
Yeah, I mean, that's $17 to ship a hat. Unreal.
It's worth it to get it to you, Sparky.
Oh, I love it. Thank you very much.
They need to put a cap on that.
Yeah.
You should show us the hat, Sparky. I don't know what you're talking about. I know you said Grumman, right?
It's just like Mark's. I saw his hat at Rodak, and I said, "Hey, I gotta have one. Where
Yeah,
can I
you
get
need that.
one?" And he said he had it made. And I said, "Cool." And he got me one.
Let me see you here.
And I'm not gonna wear it in the shop because I don't want to get it dusty and nasty. I hate to even touch it because I'm much more.
Oh, that is a nice.
That is nice.
Oh, that is really nice.
That's worth the shipping. Absolutely.
Wow, very nice. Thank you, Sparky, for showing us the hat.
What does the 47 insignia, mean?
That's just the product type of the hat manufacturer. It has nothing to do with anything else.
It's beautiful. I thank you very much.
Great,
You're
fantastic.
welcome. You're welcome, Sparky. We all appreciate all you do for the hobby. So
I don't want to wear it because you look at my hat here. I mean, every hat I got looks like this, with balls of dust and everything on it. I want to show you guys this airplane.
All right, thank you.
I've kind of limited my thoughts of being under 50 ounces. Why did it get
Yeah,
Blurry.
blurry for a second, out of focus.
it ain't gonna be 50 ounces. Probably realistically 52 to 54 ounces. I'm at 26 ounces now. So probably gonna be 31 or 32 finished with all the paint on it.
What size spinner are you gonna have on there, Sparky?
It's 2-inch carbon.
Looks nice. I like how you the contour of the front of the nose going toward the nose ring.
Well,
Even the sides, very nice.
the
Yeah,
trick
very
is
nice.
you gotta spend longer periods of time standing close to the sandpaper is all.
Yeah, it looks very nice.
This part of the build, getting the tissue on it is pretty crude, It's kind of like framing a house.
Yeah.
The framers come in and do the hatchery and the finished carpenters come in and do the cleanup, but we ain't there yet.
That looks good.
It's light. I mean, not gonna build a D-tube or a foamy this light, but it's still, you can't build light airplanes with heavy wood. And all I had was 4.5, 5-pound wood. I didn't have any of that good 3.5-pound wood I used to get.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sparky. Let me see here. I think I totally messed up on who's next, but let me just go with Mark Gerber. And by the way, hi, Gary Sinclair. Hope you're doing well. And and how you doing?
Okay. Yeah. But watch the video tonight. I was at the Nats 1919.
Say that one more time.
I was at the Nats Nationals 1919. I got some video of it.
You was watching the video of it?
Yeah. That I was there and took the
Oh,
movie camera.
1919?
Yeah. And then,
No, you ain't
Yeah, the
that.
Nats didn't start till 1920
Oh.
something.
1991.
there you go.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
All right.
That's my
good.
dad.
Yeah.
I know. Well,
91. But it was neat. I got to see several planes. I didn't recognize any, that I've seen, but there were several flying, so it was going on all right. And then it's awesome.
now where was this
They-
at? I know they were moving around. Where was this one?
Muncie, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, really? Muncie then?
Yeah.
Okay. All
Now,
right.
do they have an airport there?
Yes,
Okay, because I saw some airplanes and I thought, well, I didn't know that. Okay,
it's
I mean,
actually
full size
adjacent.
airplanes.
Yeah, it's adjacent to the AMA property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Gary. And
Yeah,
Mark
okay.
Gerber. So what you been up to, Mark Gerber? You've been working on the SV. You've been flying the SV11, your new
Oh
one?
yeah, the weather's been great. The kids are back in school, so the soccer fields are empty now. I can use them, and it's not raining so much, so the grass isn't so long, and life is good. I got the SV11 all trimmed out, and I flew the Bearcat this morning. We're going to have a fun fly tomorrow down at Lynn Boss's. Lynn lives east of Denver. He's a scale flyer, and he's got probably the best circle in the country. It's a concrete circle out in his backyard,
Huh.
and it's beautiful. He flies scale. He's invited a whole bunch of people to come. So we're going to have a fun fly. There'll be scale planes and stunt planes and speed planes, and I'm not sure who else is going to show up yet. We'll see.
So there's this one circle.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
he's got another grass one nearby, but it's not in very good shape. I don't know. They may try to fly there tomorrow with some planes that they hand launch or something. I don't know, but his concrete circle is just absolutely beautiful. He somehow has got his neighbors to accommodate him, and he's got a lot of land around there, so it's not like he's really close to neighbors. And he's been living there for, I think, at least 20 years or so. But like I said, it's a beautiful circle, and so any chance I get to get on there and fly, I know Keith Trossel's been over there a few times. And
Have you spoken to Keith Trossel lately? I've been missing him. If you're watching, Keith, we've been missing you.
I have not, but I saw some texts going back and forth yesterday. I think he and Jerry Higgins went flying at the Arvada field west of Denver yesterday morning, but I didn't hear any feedback from it.
All righty. Okay. That's cool.
I expect both of them likely will be at the fun fly tomorrow.
All
We'll
right.
see.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't seen Jerry Higgins in a long time also. Hopefully he makes his way back here sometime. And let me welcome I think it was Mark Wise came in next. Hey Mark, how you doing?
Hi, I'm okay. If you can give me a couple of minutes, I just want to update a few things.
All righty.
I have some dates. These are probably the closest thing to the official Nats dates as they'll ever be.
Let me make a note of this.
Okay, so the latest unofficial, and it'll be official probably within 30 days. Sunday, August 4th will be the first day of our Nats, which is almost a month later than we usually fly. Okay. We'll have our 6 days, Sunday through Friday, and there'll be a 2-day World Cup. We don't participate in that, but Combat and the others do. And they see the World Championship starting around August 17. And that's a 7-day event if you wanted to see the whole thing. So for myself and some others, that's kind of a month in Muncie.
The World Championship start on the 17th, you said?
Yes. So right now of course, we're behind because FAI is so late on this whole procedure. But we're narrowing down the list of the judges. There are some rules about that. You can only have one from your country, and the other 5 have to all be from different countries. And we submit our choices with a couple of alternates and wait to hear the final result, which is probably going to be what we submit. But that's what we're working on. So October 7 and 8, a lot of you know this already, is team trials. I'm guessing it's going to be a pretty good turnout. I know a lot of people have been practicing. I know a lot of people are getting on planes that live too far. That's, I think, at Scobie Field, if I remember right, in Houston. And that's a 2-day event to get the 3 team members and 1 alternate. And being that it'll be stateside, it really eliminates a lot of the agony of traveling overseas and all that stuff.
I think that's why you're going to get a good turnout.
Yeah, there'll be a good turnout. And I think there'll be a lot of spectators in Muncie. I really do. September, I wrote this down somewhere. There it is. September 16 and 17 in New Jersey is the first, what I hope is an annual, the first Pampa Regionals. It'll be the Northeast. You don't have to be from the Northeast to enter, and I know there are other events going on that weekend. Hopefully next year there's one in Canton, which is maybe far enough away not to disturb people, but I believe there's also one in the Cleveland area. So we just did the best we could on this date. We're providing the trophies, and we're a part of it. I'll be there. Matter of fact, I'm a judging expert. Joe Daly is the CD. We have a bunch of good guys coming. The more, the merrier. The club that runs the field is going to be doing all the cooking. We're paying for all the food, so they're happy with that. We're going to have a lot of nice giveaways. Some stuff from Bob Hunt, like wings already sheeted. We got some nice giveaways. So it should be a nice event. A PA will be flown Saturday and Sunday, 2 rounds each. But we also have profile, old time stunt, classic. I think that's it. And of course, PA is the 4 skill classes. October 12th through 15 is our Southeast Pampa Regionals, but you'll know it better named as KOI.
All right.
Okay.
But this year?
Yes, sir. And so that's what, only a couple of months away. 9
When is
weeks.
the Cleveland meet?
No, I think the Cleveland meet is the same time as the Northeast Pampa Regionals.
It is. It is September 16, 17, or whatever
Yes.
that weekend is.
Yeah. So I just wanted to give you guys those dates. Team trials, you know what they are. Nats, August 4. World starting August 17th. The World Cup is a special event. It's a 2-day event. We participated in 2 years ago in Poland, but we don't do it in this country because we have our Nats. So you'll probably see a bunch of international competitors thinking about and entering our Nats. Of course, they'll know before they come that if they're not the builder or the model, they can't fly in the top category. You know, we can't water it down for others when we're following strict FAI guidelines. So I think that's where we are. I think we have good judges lined up. Oh, and if you fly electrics like some of us do, Thunder Power has their Labor Day sale on now. And it's 25% off. I think their big sales are Thanksgiving, Christmas, and maybe July 4th. They go to about 40%.
Nah, they probably go 30% if that.
Okay, whatever. But 25% is not a bad deal, especially if you're looking at 6 cells and that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd just let you know for those who don't know. And I think I hope I mentioned to you, this is my 6th Zoom meeting this week. It's getting to be a lot of meetings. But one of them was with all the district directors. And it was interesting. I told them about what's going on at AMA and the possible rearranging of the sites at the property. And I thought this was going to happen, and it did. And not one of them are anxious for that to happen. We kind of like the L-pad. We like where we are. It doesn't mean there couldn't be something better, but all we want is a smooth surface for Christmas. We have to get Santa Claus with an asphalt company or something. So I have a meeting next week. So I'll know the next step in that process, because we're trying to put a plan together for an October AMA Executive Management Committee. And I wrote a note to Chad today saying there's one thing that really bothers me about this process right now, and that is that no one seems to be worried about what their members feel. And I said, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to make a decision for 280 people without them knowing about it. I just don't think that's the right way to do things. So that's where we are. Nothing bad, all good. Next year, summer is going to be hectic, but that's all right. And I look forward to seeing you guys, Mondays and Fridays. And if you have any ideas about making Pampa better or anything like that, please let me know. Or the Nats. And John Paris, he agreed to be the CD again. God love him. And so I think he and Michelle do a terrific job, along with Mark Overmeyer and everyone else. It's a lot of work. The pay is lousy. The criticism is always around, but people have a good time. That's why you do it.
Ready.
All right. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Mark. Let me share this real quick. I know I'm a little bit behind with everybody, but this is the first day of September, and we have a calendar update for September. And I normally open up a PDF, but I can't get my PDFs to open up. So
Yeah.
this is September. We have Brendan and his son Angstrom there, and I can't make out the plane. And then we have Lynn Burrell and Naomi there.
Yep.
And
Very nice.
we're very fortunate to have Gary Sinclair, who puts these together for us. And thank you very much, Gary. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Gary,
Yeah.
do you have the calendar for the 1919 Nats?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
It's back
I'd like
here
to see-
someplace.
I just like to see all the planes.
Yeah.
I have a
Fantastic.
question for Doc. Hey, it's a Doc, no. God, I can't.
You mean John Miller?
John Miller, yeah.
Hmm.
Do you have a CAD file for Super Tiger 60?
I'd have to check. I don't think I do, but we can always put an inquiry for it on Stunthangar under the CAD section.
There's a guy, Steve Barry, I think that's his name, who's
Yeah.
gonna do the CAD plans for this, and I think it would be easier for him to have a Super Tiger file to lay the fuselage sides out.
Yeah, it would. Well, I'll take a look and see if I've got it and let you know.
If you do, just send it to my email or whatever.
Okay,
Thank you.
you bet.
So John, while you have you, what you been up to? You been doing any work on CAD files or plans or working on your SV11?
Laying around on my butt.
Mhm.
Nothing wrong with that once in a while. Just
Well, Gordon and I were talking about this the other day. We both hit the magic 8-0, and all of a sudden it's like somebody turned the switch off.
Yeah, we can't stop though.
No, we can't. But
that's right. And you got to get your maiden flight on this SV11 before the Las Vegas Stunt Challenge comes around.
oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
before you know it.
I'm planning on it.
Good, good. I'm planning on seeing you and seeing you compete and having fun too.
Well, I've tried to do both, have fun and compete.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's what we all got to do: have fun and compete. Absolutely, absolutely. Yes,
Hey,
yes, Gordon.
Gordy.
I forgot on my Pathfinder, I did do some work on it.
Okay.
I put my stalker 51 in, John had loaned me his stalker. And so I was setting up the tank and the nose wheel and decided to put my engine in it. Lo and behold, I had to add 3/32 to my nose ring. They changed the thickness of the rear thrust washers, so the spinner stuck out too far away from the spinner ring.
We figured they did that so that because you mount a 51 and you can mount a 60 in the same place, or a 66.
I'm not buying that, John.
Well, I know I mounted a 61 in my biplane, and I mounted an 81 without having to drill anything or change anything to the nose.
I can tell you why they did that, Gordon.
Just because they wanted to piss me off.
That's exactly right. Yes, you are.
I already knew that, Sparky.
Very, very good. So let me get to, I think Tryon came in next. Hey, Tryon, I see you got your Saginaw. Is that is?
Yeah.
All right. What you up to? What are you doing with it?
I'm putting some hinges in it.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Those are made out of what?
Kevlar.
All righty.
Oh, wow. That ought to be strong.
It's just I think it's 1.6 ounces per square yard Kevlar, and I impregnated with epoxy. But if you see, like, it's very little in it, so it kind of stays like this in one piece. Then I cut with a scissor the correct size. Next thing I do, I just slit it and put it inside, and then I have to go inside. Thin CA gets the job done. That's it. And here's the Saginaw, if you guys want to see it.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah, you missed it. He showed it Monday as well. Yes, yeah,
I wasn't here Monday.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Right now it's glued. Everything is glued in, and with the landing gear, it's secured with the proper bolts. The motor is permanently installed. The battery is just for show right now to see if it's going to fit nicely. Seems not to have any issues. It's almost done.
Looks really good. Is that one of them Zor propellers painted black?
Yes, it's a badass prop.
A Zor, okay.
It's a 10.6.
Very nice.
Brian, can I ask you a question about your Kevlar hinges?
Sure.
Years ago, I used to use, I guess what they call a live hinge. Southern RC or one of those companies had them. And you'd slide them into the ball so you could make a little relief for it, and then you put thin CA on it.
Okay.
The problem I had with it would frequently make the hinge stiff at the flex point. I guess
okay.
you don't have that problem with the Kevlar.
No, actually, Kevlar, it's opposite. It might be stiff initially, but it's going to get looser and looser in time.
Okay.
It just gets better. It never gets worse, and it doesn't break.
Okay. Thank you.
It's very simple. As long as you have let me give you an example here. If you see this,
Make it big here. 1 second. Whoops. There we go. All right, we see you, Tryon. You're big.
I am okay. All right. So as long as you have a nice edge here,
Oh, that's not it.
you see that?
Yeah,
So if you have a nice edge over here with a nice angle and a sharp corner, that's perhaps the only requirement, because it's going to pivot around this corner, right? And you
Yep.
don't want it to bind.
right.
The only way it's going to bind if it's your leading edge is roundish or something like that, and it doesn't allow it to move up and down.
Right. Got it.
So you have to have the ends meeting, and then they're going to go against the flat back here, and maybe just a tiny bit of gap in between them. So that way they can move, right?
Yeah.
They're just going to move nicely, right? But if you have a round surface here and it come almost flat here, it's going to just bind.
Yeah.
It's not going to move.
Absolutely.
And as long as you have that edge nicely done, the rest is easy. All I'm doing is just I'm using an X-Acto knife to cut a slot, right?
Yeah.
And after that, behind it, I come with this guy, which is also an X-Acto knife blade. Remember those?
And number 26, I think it is. No, not
Like
26.
it's like a Zona kind of blade.
Yeah, right. Not
Okay.
26.
So
Forgive
I
me.
just do a little bit of sewing motion in there, and that's it.
Yes.
And this Kevlar, it's about 3/7 inch by whatever you want to make it.
Nice. Thank you,
And,
buddy.
yeah, it's super easy. I think in about 15-20 minutes you can do the hinges on one side easily.
Terrific.
Oh, and one more thing. You want to start with this first. You see that?
Yeah,
So I kind of mark like this where my hinge is gonna be,
right.
and after that you just cut it out, but leave the tape there. So you know the position of your hinge on both sides.
Oh, okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
That's all. So right now on the other side, if you look at it, I know where my hinge is gonna go.
Very nice.
Good.
Simple. So now when I cut, I'm just gonna cut like in this area. Or I don't have space here. So I'm just gonna cut here, here, and here, and then I know when I'm gonna put these guys in place.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
I already know where they're gonna go. That's it.
Thank you.
It's very
Nice.
simple stuff.
Very nice. Thank you, Tryon.
That's it.
Hey, Charles, I got a question real quick, like,
Yeah, go ahead.
Bart called me earlier and he couldn't get on the bench. It didn't have Friday's date on it. It had a Monday's date.
Let me check.
It's right now.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's in there correctly.
Yes, in there.
It was correctly for me.
Maybe he tried too early.
Yeah, maybe,
I did too.
maybe I didn't post a link at that time, but it's there now.
Yeah, well, I was already talking to you, Charles, when he
Well-
called.
Well, but he still may have tried before all of that. And if he didn't refresh his screen on his computer or something like that, he might not have got it when it was posted.
Good point.
Yeah.
Can you call Bart and let him know it's up there and running? You can go and click on the link.
Well, he kind of went off in the temper tantrum.
Really? Oh,
I don't know.
Wow.
Then there isn't much we can do, is there?
He said he was going to go do something since he couldn't get on.
all right. Yeah, sometimes you have to keep hitting refresh, and eventually we'll get there.
Yep.
Go ahead, John Miller.
Hey, I was caught about the shipping on Sparky's new hat. I just bought a hat the other day, Sparky. It's a leather top hat, kind of a thing. But I had to buy it out of Canada. $34.50 shipping. But
Oh.
the price was low enough that I actually bought the hat with the shipping probably less than what it would have cost me if I'd have bought one made in the US.
Well, I sent 2 motors to Jonathan Caradas, who comes in here.
Yeah,
$66 for a little tiny box, smaller than that. $66.
wow. Well, those guys down there, they complain about the high price of getting anything, so I can see why.
Yeah. Let me let I think it was Stuart what came in next. Hey Stuart Morrison, how you doing today?
I'm good, Charles. So,
How's your plane coming along? Your
so the twister, it's coming slow. I got the wing glued in, and then I got the elevator glued in. So we're getting there a little bit every day.
So how did it work out? I know we had a little bit of discussion about your wing gap, and you was advised to stuff it with balsa wood and then use superfill or epoxy. What did you end up doing?
I epoxied it on. That super fills for the edge, isn't it? For to stick along the joint to flare it out.
Yes,
Yeah, that way, but it also can add structural strength too. It's a good product all around.
So I think yeah, so I can use this then. Here, let me just grab it.
Hey, Gordy,
yes.
you want these?
What is it?
You got leather there.
Leather fillets.
Boy, I would. How much?
Hey, send me your address, I'll ship them to you.
John, send him my address, will you?
I don't have your address.
Yeah.
I got these from Sawyer.
Yeah, they're the right things.
Yeah. Sparky, is that polyspan or silk span you got on there?
Silk span. Double out, lightest stuff you can get.
And let's see here, Stuart. So
Oh,
yeah, it's looking good, Stuart.
Oh,
Looks good, Stuart. Good job.
Yeah,
to fill in here, is this where you use that super fill stuff, the blue stuff?
yeah.
Sure.
So is it kind of like a consistency of like caulking
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter, yeah.
Yeah.
It hasn't got like a fiberglass in it or anything, does it?
No,
No,
It's just like an epoxy in the sense, right?
yeah, but it's easier to stand.
I put it in a monoject syringe and I just run a bead all around there and then go back with the popsicle stick and smooth it out. And then I take a little bit of alcohol on my finger and it's really smooth. And
Okay, that's
You're
what I was kind
done.
of wondering what you do. So, okay, so you put it in a syringe then. All right, that's a good idea. Might try that.
Yeah, and you may want to tape off the areas so the fillet doesn't get too big.
right.
Exactly.
That's
Mask it.
I kind of wondered about doing so.
I've never done that. I just take a Q-tip and after the popsicle stick, I haven't even
Yeah.
got out to the side. I just take a Q-tip and go along, clean it off with some.
No, you're
With some
neater
alcohol.
than me.
Okay, that's one of the jobs I got to do next, I think. So, all right.
Hey, Stuart, did you fly your Pathfinder this last week?
Yeah, the last time I flew it, it made a big difference. So, hang on half a second. I got another question on that one. Oops. Let's pull everything off the table.
Hey, Tryon, your airplane really looks nice.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, buddy.
Even though I'm not a fan of monocoat, you seem to have done a nice job.
Appreciate it. Thanks. It's his first plane, so I'm not gonna complicate things as much more than they have to be. They're already complicated and enough for a kid his age.
Go ahead, Stuart. You have my
Yeah,
attention.
on the lead outs, on this plane, the two holes are about an inch apart. Is that about normal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's about 3 inches. The first one's about 3 inches from the leading edge, and then an inch for the next one. So, okay, that's kind of just wondering about that.
Yeah, I like them as close as I can get them.
But yeah, it flew a lot better. I still think I might need a little bit more weight on the back, possibly. You can see, I think Len said he seems like he thinned this out a lot. So
Yeah.
maybe that's why it's pretty light in the back end.
I
Another,
don't think
what's that?
I don't thin mine back there at all. I do is put a radius on and that's it.
Yeah, that's what I was
Right.
wondering if it's better to do that, but I don't know. Everybody's different, I guess.
But that one's paper thin.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and maybe that's why it's late in the back end. And
That's why I told you on the next one, just round it. Don't taper it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because that one's very flexible. Like you can see it even when it's flying, it's flexing a bit.
Probably twisting.
yeah, probably. I mean,
You
yeah,
can
just
see it. Look at that.
and I'm not putting too much pressure on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be gentle with it and enjoy it.
Yeah. What normally angle on this should you have? Is it just
That's
like
about right.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
Just a little.
Now one other thing when I'm flying, sometimes I think the line tension isn't quite enough, but it's pretty good. Can you adjust when you adjust the lead outs? What does that do? Front, like moving back and forth.
that makes the airplane yaw in or out.
Okay.
And if it's light on the line, especially on the overhead, you might try moving them back just to, go about an eighth of an inch at a time.
Okay. That's maybe what I was wondering if I should do that. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna see what a little bit more on the weight in the back end does, and then I'll maybe look at adjusting that lead out a bit.
Gumby, my boy, Gumby.
Sorry?
Gumby.
You're saying clay. You use clay, you're saying.
Yeah, it's green clay.
Bit of
Get
clay in the back.
Oh, look what I found
Gumby
today.
on it.
Ah,
Yeah,
There you go.
There you go.
take that with you and keep putting a big booger back there till it flies right.
okay.
And then when
Yeah.
you figure out how much it takes, you take it off and weigh it and then embed some lead back there.
Okay, that sounds good. I heard you guys say about that last time, so I went and bought that today. So I'll give that a try. Okay, great. Thanks for the advice,
Well,
guys.
just make sure that isn't the style of clay that when you take it out of the can, it dries out and turns into kind of a rock that falls off.
Oh,
You need to have somebody, you're saying you're light on, it's light on the lines or whatever. You need to have somebody watching from the outside to see if the wings are level, and if they are level, upright and inverted, or you maybe add some tip weight, if you got the wing is up, the outboard wing is upright and up inverted, you need some more tip weight. So tip weight would add line
Level.
tension as well.
It's level.
Okay,
It is level.
Yeah, I've already checked it. It's level.
And then put a washer underneath the front two motor bolts.
okay.
3 degrees motor offset. That's what I run.
Okay. I sometimes too, because I'm newer at it, it's still like I'm not sure if it's me or if it's the plane not quite right. So I'm kind of trying to decipher all this as I
When you
go.
fly overhead, do you have to hunker down to keep line tension?
it hasn't been, just sometimes it seems a little light, like maybe the line will bow a little more than I would like, but I gotta fly a little more too, I'm still learning to do stuff, so it's kind of hard to do some maneuvers and trying to
The
rest.
first thing that I would
It's-
do is put a washer under each front motor mount bolt. That moves the engine out. Point the motor out by one washer, 440 washer. And
Okay,
that will give you line tension everywhere. And if that doesn't, if that causes some other problems, then you can monkey with the lines, the rake, and the rudder offset is fine. You don't want to yaw that thing too much. It causes hinging and shit to go on.
You was right about the tip weight, Sparky. Even if it's level, you can still add another 1/4 ounce, and that'll help line tension a little bit too, especially overhead.
okay, yeah.
As long as it's not throwing that wing, you can add tip weight.
Keep adding tip weight till it drops it on a hard corner, like when you come out of the wing over or whatever. And if the wing dropped, you got too much tip weight.
Exactly.
So,
Right.
so things that are gonna give you line tension are nose weight is one of them, will increase the overall line tension. Tip weight is gonna give you a little bit more line tension. But to be specific about the line position on the lead outs, what I found out is if it's the lead outs are too far back, you're gonna have a loose stop.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a
So,
loop.
so let's think of progression. If it's too far back, then you're gonna be loose on the top. Okay. So and very tight on the bottom. That's gonna feel a very distinct difference between the two of them. As the lead out starts to move over, you're gonna lose some of the light tension on the bottom, but you're gonna gain more on the top, right? As you keep moving them forward, you're gonna get to a point where the plane is gonna stay everywhere you put it in the sky, right? And you're gonna have the best line tension possible, right? Now, this is like the magical point that you're hunting for. Now, if you go any further forward from the position, you will maintain that line tension overall line tension kind of everywhere, but it's going to lessen a little bit. It's going to get lower and lower. It will stay there, but you're going to have lower and lower overall line tension.
Yep.
So long story short, if you have a heavy plane, you might want to do that in purpose because you don't want it to pull pull you out of the circle, right? Because a heavy plane, it already has line tension because of the centrifugal force that it develops, right?
Right.
So if you have all the line tension from over there, then as long as you can do your maneuvers everywhere, you should be fine. And you might want to bias it like that a little bit, or maybe fly it a little bit tail heavy. But yeah, that's what I have to say. It's like learn to feel the plane when you fly it. Okay, don't just fly the plane. Feel it. Feel the line tension as you go on top of the loop, coming down, top of the loop, coming down. Okay, oh, that's a little tighter or a little bit looser. Feel the plane.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's in general. Like too far back, very hard line tension on the bottom, very loose on the top. Move forward at some point. So what I usually do when I play with this, I just do hourglass, right? For example, and I put 2-minute flights on mine. I just don't make long flights at all. So I do a vertical 8 and fill it, and then go in an hourglass. Stays there on the corner. So if it's kind of loose, I may not, and I might start with it backwards in purpose, right? And I know I expect it to do that, right? So then I nudge it forward a little bit. Now I feel like, oh, I have a little bit more line tension on top, right? Good. I can go in hourglasses now, right? And then nail be gentle with the hourglass and more progressive, a little bit more corner, just push it a little bit more, push it a little bit more. You might fall off at some point, okay? But then probably in next flight, maybe move it a little bit more, see if it's tighter and stuff like that. So you just nudge it a little bit, and you just feel the line tension everywhere. And that's what I actually do anyway. So, I mean, there are 100 people, 100 different ways of doing it. But yeah, too much tip weight will help, but too much tip weight will not help in the corners because the wing is going to drop, right? Probably that's how you know you have too much tip weight.
Hey, Stuart, could I recommend something to you?
Sure.
If you go on the Pampa website, it's pampacl.org. In there are older stunt news magazines. And I could give you the issues, but Paul Walker did a phenomenal series on how to trim an airplane.
Yep.
On Stunthangar somewhere too.
Yeah, I think it may be 2016. There were about 5
Yeah.
or 6 volumes of it. I mean, you can't memorize it, but it's a great resource. And he has some very simple schematics that if a plane is doing this, you may want to try that. If the plane's doing this, you try that. It's a terrific series.
The flow chart.
It's a flow chart. There you go.
Yep. Yes, it is.
So is that when I go on there, do I just search his name?
I'd have to look at that. Send me $100 and then I'll get you the information.
Go on Stunthangar and type in trimming guide. It's on Stunthangar.
Yeah. Okay, you can do it there too.
Guy or guide?
Guide.
Guide.
Now, what I've done is, let me show you what I've done. I actually printed it out and had it bound.
There you go.
And then
Yeah,
I took
that's-
out, and then
That's
the-
exactly what I did too, Charles. I
And
got
then
a
the
bound
guy-
copy of it.
I gave my guide to Dave Sabon, but this guide here, I actually laminated.
There it is. There's the flow chart right
I
there.
laminated it and it was in my flight box. So it just takes you step one, this, if that's the case, go here. If not, go there. And it just takes you all the way down to it's trimmed.
I was wondering
Charles,
if-
do you have the date of the first installment?
Let's see here. Yeah, March, April 2014. Boy, time
14.
is flying.
It's the Bible as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Right. And then he did another series on flying in the wind. So I mean, he took this and then he examined and went on to train you on how to do the wind trim.
Yep.
Let me catch up on the chat box real quick. Terry Forbes says, "Hi, Charles. Just checking in. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate you coming in. I know you came in recently as well. Thank you very much." And then Terry Mitchell, he says, "Hey, Dennis, did you get the picture of my twin F-82?
I thought I responded. Yeah, I thought I did and responded to you.
And I guess Mark Gerber is taking off to go walk his dog, or he left already.
All right.
But, and then George Vinard says, "Glad to hear all you all doing well." Thank you very much, George. I appreciate that. Yeah, we definitely got to appreciate us all doing well. And then it's, yeah, trying.
Yeah, look at this. This is the hinge done on first side.
I mean, make it big. Oh, very nice. Very, very nice.
So what you see in there, it's you see there?
Yeah, I see. Very nice. Very nice.
And I just put it down and make sure that you can move it up and down and you have enough, you have some, it's free. And you sneak in here with the tip of your thin CA and just give it one drop. That's it. You're done.
Nice. Very nice. Thank you, Tryon.
Okay, you're welcome.
And let me let Dennis Adam Misson have a shot. And Dennis, we haven't even heard from you since you had to frantically put together a plane for FCM. So I was wondering, how'd that plane come out? Did it actually do all the control services in? Did you?
No. This is I was trying. I had had some bad luck with I was trying to get Wes's Velvet 5 ready. Wes has decided that he's not going to fly anymore.
Oh,
and he's been busy giving away his airplanes. And the week before the FCM meet, he gave John Paris his last Velvet 4, which was the PA65 powered version, like the one that's in the Hall of Fame. And he gave me his Velvet 5, which was his later electric version that had never been trimmed out. And so I had spent that week trying to get the thing trimmed out, and I had a I had the thing flying Friday morning. I was ready to do some good solid practice on it, and I had a motor problem. And the badass motor through a winding is the only way I can describe it. It got a loose winding inside. So I was trying to replace the motor. It took me over an hour to get the motor out of it because the prop adapter had frozen onto the shaft, and I couldn't figure out how the heck to get it off so I could get the motor out. And finally got all that out. When I got it apart, I discovered that the motor mount plate had busted loose inside the fuselage. So I was repairing that.
Wow.
I got that all put back together, and I put a different motor in it. I didn't have a duplicate, so I had to put something in that was a little bigger and heavier, and toss some more weight on the back to balance it out. And got the thing all ready, took it to FCM. It's a 2-day meet, went down Saturday, and flew it once, and the motor mount plate came loose again. And so I'm about 90 miles from Muncie, and ended up riding home from Muncie and got a different airplane and went back so I could fly Sunday. So had an entertaining
home with
weekend.
me.
I did a lot of work with absolutely no payback. So, which is how it works sometimes.
You didn't send it
And
home with me for repair. How come?
I'm sorry,
You didn't send it home with me for repair. How come?
because it was so cold out, you left before anything happened on Sunday.
That's exactly right. It was cold.
Yeah, that's it. But he should have hung around. It actually got nicer as the day went on. We had a pretty good meet. So it was a good meet. And I just went home, got the Mobest, and come running back, and had a pretty successful day Sunday. And so then my wife and I took just a little mini trip this week. Got back last night, and I started working on the Velvet 5 this morning to see if I could fix it once and for all, and never, but now I have the luxury of time, so I don't have to try to hurry it to get it ready to fly at a contest this weekend or anything like that.
There you
And
go.
I'm going to take advantage of that, do a few
Peg and
things.
stake it like I told you. Did
What's
you
that?
peg and stake it like I told you?
We'll see. I'm looking at it. There is some plywood in there, so if I stake it, it'll actually matter. But
And then superfill that real good so it encases the whole nose there.
there's no room for superfill really. It's a pretty tight package around it. If I put a fillet on the back of the mount, I won't have any room left for the motor. But I am trying to figure out if I can get anything back there. I think I'm going to be able to put a piece of 32nd plywood or something like that to try to entrap it. But any rate, I'm not real worried about it. I got it all ready to put back together. I'm going to wait and do it in the morning because it's supposed to be nice and warm here tomorrow. I'm going to epoxy it up in the morning, take it outside, let it cook, and the epoxy, that'll set the epoxy off really good. And I should be good to go by tomorrow afternoon or Sunday. And Sunday, we're supposed to have 15 to 20 mile an hour winds, so I'll be ready to go. So
That'll be a test.
yeah, that's it. That's just what you do with a brand new airplane, right? So
Yeah.
no, Wes built this airplane. It's actually 4 or 5 years old, and he had only flown it a few times. I actually flew it once. It had never flown over 2 minutes before last week. And I got it, I got a pattern on it, and actually got a few patterns on it, and getting closer. And I finally had to think, like I said, Friday morning, it all came together, and I was really looking forward to making some progress on it when I started having a bunch of problems. So that's it. It's that's the way it goes sometimes. And nothing disastrous, it's just a matter of just enough to keep you from going forward, and with no time to process it or anything like that. It was just turning bad. So, but we'll get it going.
Cool. I had a question for you, Dennis. I was thinking about the SV11. I have another SV11 ARF, and I was going to take the wings to make the next plane. But I was noticing, how it comes in two panels and they slide together. You got that piece of wood, that hard wood, in between the two wing panels. And I'm wondering if that would be conducive to making it a take apart.
Yeah, in the electric forum, look up. I think Mike Alamoff did the post, and I think he showed how they did exactly that. His son Luca flies an airplane with SV-11 wings that are plugged onto a profile fuselage, and they took advantage of the hardwood spars top and bottom to do exactly what you're talking about. I believe he has the bell crank mounted to the fuselage, and then the wings just basically slide over it from either side with a bolt to hold it. And it's held up very well for him for several years now. So Luca's a darn good flyer, and his airplane flies well like that. But it's you'll have to look up, the post is by Mike Alamoff, and it's don't know what the title is offhand. I think it has something about take apart airplanes or something like that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for that. And Lynn Burrell, I was going to ask you next what you've been up to anyway. So go ahead and ask your question. Or
I have a question for Sparky. Sparky, I'm putting the clear coats over the color coats on my new airplane. How many coats do I need to put on before I start to sand it?
Well, it depends. How smooth is it to start with? Right now,
Fairly smooth. Like I'm talking, go ahead.
Down to what grit?
400.
Oh yeah. Well, I would put you're talking about spraying the dope on, right?
I've already done it. All the color is done.
Okay.
The color is all finished. So now I'm ready to start.
Shoot 2 coats of clear on it, and then start sanding.
3 already.
Okay,
I've
start
shot
sanding.
3.
Start
Start
sanding.
sanding. Okay. And what do you start with generally? Like
Depends how
6 or 8
smooth
or
it is.
1,000? Okay.
I mean, if it's like a cob, I start with 24 grit. If it's smooth.
Well, when I rub my hand on it now after spraying the clear, it feels rougher after putting 3 coats of clear on it. It doesn't feel as smooth as it was.
Start with 1,000, I guess. Just be careful. Start with 1,000. If that cuts it too fast,
Okay.
go down to 15, and then go to 2,000.
Okay, because I've got 1,000, I've got 2,000, and I've got 1,500. I've got all 3.
Okay, yeah.
So that's good. That's helpful.
Basically, on a clear coat job, you're talking dope, right?
3.
Okay.
I'm only doing the fuselage. The wings are covered in film. It's just the fuse.
Yes.
I can show it to you. I can.
Start with 1,000, but be gentle with it. You can tell if you start pulling up color, you got to stop.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna bring the plane up. You can have a look. Hang on.
Okay.
Thank you, Lynn. So we're all caught up on the chat box, but we have only 15 likes. We've had over 27 views. So if you have not hit the like button, please smash that. That won't cost you a penny, and it helps the analytics of the show. Also consider joining our YouTube channel memberships. They started just the first tier is at $4.99. That's like 17 cents a day. And then we have the super chats. And if you're watching this as a replay later on, do the super thanks. We're coming up on 3 years for me doing this show. I know that Rusty doing this before I did, and then Sparky did it before Rusty. So we're coming up on, I think next week will be 3 years I've been hosting this.
Wow. Well, congratulations, and thank you for all the hard work you put in on this.
Oh, you're welcome.
Charles, we all think that you should be off probation now. and you've shown your merit. So congratulations.
I appreciate that.
And I also think you could probably put your hat in the ring for Pampa president.
Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
All right.
All right,
This
looky
is looking
there.
Good. This is looking really nice. Wow.
Oh, it's not shiny really. It's just got like a bit of a sheen to it at this point.
Hmm.
And
I've
that's
got three
clear?
coats of 3 coats, yes, 3 coats of clear.
Well, I can make 3 coats shine like a diamond, but you know,
Yeah, I can't.
yeah, you
I don't
can.
have that. I just don't seem to know that. I don't seem to get the mix right all the time. I think it was a little bit too thick. Like, I
That'll,
don't think the mix was quite thin enough.
that'll shine. It'll shine right there. I
Like,
could
it's got
polish that off,
shine. You can see it has some shine, but it's not like mirror shine. Maybe I should be thinning it a little more.
right?
don't
But
know.
I could polish that out to shine like a diamond. You know, you can
Okay.
too. It's just
All right.
hard work.
So right now I should sand it. And then what? Polish it? Like I have McGuire's polish, I have compound, I have
Let me
both.
ask you this. How much clear did you allocate to do that job?
We didn't.
So you just started pouring out of the can and you're gonna paint until you were satisfied, right?
Yeah, like I don't know how many coats you generally put on. I don't know.
The
That's
least
why I
amount,
asked.
the least amount possible to get the
You
best
can get
shine.
away with. So what do your planes generally have in terms of coats of clear? 2, 3, 4, 5? I don't
One.
know how many.
1 quart of clear total. I showed that
Okay.
on the, if you look
Yeah,
at this,
I saw your video and I know there's half of it goes to base coat and the other half goes to finish coat.
right, and that's it. And when you're out of paint, you're done painting. And if you
Okay,
go any
well, I
more than
mixed-
that, you got a big,
Okay, so I basically did the same thing. I've mixed up a quart of clear
but you're only doing a
and
fuselage.
half. Yeah, I'm only doing a fuselage. That's why I didn't know how much to allocate because I'm not doing the whole airplane.
So half a quart,
Okay, half.
half a quart thinned. you know.
Yes, okay, all right.
And when you're out of that paint, you're done painting. And in order to get that
Okay.
shine, you got to put the grease on it. That's the elbow grease. And the elbow
Right.
grease, you could cut it with triple aught steel wool. Make sure you get stainless steel wool, non-oiled, and buff
Okay.
all those pimples down that you're talking about. And then go to 2,000 grit, and then 3,000 and 5,000, and then polish it. And it'll shine right up.
So I don't need to put any more clear on here really
I
after
didn't.
3 coats?
I didn't say that. How
Okay.
does it look? Does it, does it look like it's, I can't tell from here. There's
No,
no
I
way,
know.
there's no way for me
Pretty
to tell.
hard to tell. No, there's no way of knowing.
Feel?
I think what I'll probably do is do one more. I'll give it a light sand, do one more, and then start trying to polish it, I guess.
Okay, do a flow coat. You know what that is?
Wetter, more wet.
Right, more thinner, lower pressure, slower movement of the gun with the trigger pulled all the way back. And it's just at 50% overlap where it's just starting to run. You don't want it to run, but you
Okay.
want it to stay wet.
Yeah, okay.
It
All
looks
right.
like you sprayed it dry on there, like you were afraid of it. I can tell by
That's what I think it is too. I think I sprayed a little too dry.
I can tell by the way it's sprayed on the tin foil there that it looks like you were afraid of the gun. It should have been shiny right up on the tin foil, but it's flat, oversprayed.
All right. Okay, yeah. All right, so I'll make it a little wetter tomorrow.
Right,
But
and
I
then
was also, the reason I didn't want to get it too wet is because I did some ink around the graphics, black
okay.
ink, and I didn't want it to run or anything. So that's why I made it a little, I didn't want to go too thin.
Well, it's sealed now.
So it's sealed now. I can put whatever I want on it now. It's well sealed after 3 coats.
Right.
Okay, well, we'll work at it some more and see where we get.
Looks
Thank
good,
you.
buddy.
Thank you.
And Joe Gilbert's joined us. Hey, Joe, thanks for coming
Joe.
in.
Hi, guys. Hello, hello, hello.
You came in just in time, Joe. You can tell us what's going on with you. I imagine you're doing as much flying as you possibly can.
We flew Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we're going in the morning again.
Wow.
Very good.
We're getting our money's worth out of this week.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
how many reps did you do? How many flights?
Oh,
every-
4 or 5 days all. I don't get too many. If I can do 5 good flights a day, that's pretty good for me. I don't need to go fly 50 times a day. I got to stop and think about what I'm doing. We're still trimming it and trying to get it better. It's coming. It's getting pretty good. I did took my engines out of my other Blue Max and sent them back to Debbie and told him just to go through them to make sure they're good. My road jets.
All righty.
But this has got the K-77 in it. Not to make my mind up which one I'm going to fly when the time comes. Just to see.
Very good. Very good. And we have a comment from Terry Forbes. It says, I'm enjoying Sparky's live stream while I'm building the 1918 version of the F-16, the Fokker DR-7 in 1/8 scale, 65cc gas powered.
Good show.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks.
And Stephen McBride joined us. Hey, Stephen, how you doing?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
Doing well, my man. I was talking to I expected him to come in today. Cha-Cha. Because he one of the planes he wants to build is a Stiletto 660. Because I forgot when it was, but there was a time when Les McDonald and some other guys, they went to Trinidad, and so he saw these images of Les McDonald, and I think Bob Hunt had intended to go there too as well, but they didn't make it for some reason. But the 660 is one of his planes he would like to build, and I know you're really loving your 660.
I love them. They're great.
Have you been doing any practicing, or what you been up to?
I've been practicing and doing well past couple weekends. So doing a lot of good progressing there, working on things, control, more handle control, over controlling, under controlling to better my maneuver. What I'm finding in my mistakes is it's all it's not the plane and it's not what my thought of where I am positioning. I'm either over controlling or under controlling and kind of defeating my purpose there, not helping me.
So what's the remedy for, so you're over rotating when you do certain maneuvers? Is that what you mean by over?
Some maneuvers, I'm putting too much input into it,
Right.
or not enough.
Oh, you're doing both of them, huh?
Yeah.
Too much and not enough.
Is that
So-
your handle position? How you're standing, Ruben? Or not Ruben, Stephen?
I think so. It's by the I think it's the handle position. I think I got to change the spacing on the handle or do something because on my outside I'm not having that much of an issue with it. It's more on my inside maneuvers where it seems like it's a little lazy on it, and I could use more input on it there. And then when I am giving it more input, I'm not snapping back quick enough to neutral, so the plane's rising on me.
What can cause that? If you're flying the handle back at you a little, you got
Right.
lots of down.
Yeah, lots of down. You don't have much up.
So if you straighten your handle up to get more vertical, that could help that.
Okay.
Lean your handle forward a little. If you're flying here, you haven't got any up to get. But boy,
Right.
you got
Overhang.
Exactly.
out the Kazuki.
Eh,
It may
Joe, I
be,
second that.
it may be something as simple as your neutral, Stephen.
Yeah,
It really could be.
exactly. It's just in the neutral. So you're saying I think my neutral is good, or maybe it is just slightly down. But maybe if I went a little bit further down, would it would just a little bit cocked a little bit down, I would have more up.
Make the
input then.
top line 2 wires shorter, say, to rotate your handle. And that's going to change your neutral. You have to get used to it.
Right.
And wire your handle where all you want to do is this.
Sure.
On, off, on, off.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not having a problem with it. I go into my outsides, which is a lot because I have a lot of maneuverability there. So I can snap it down hard, get a good sharp square down, come down, go underneath and so forth. My insides, when I want to come up, I'm actually coming up and I noticed a lot of people are saying I'm right-handed. They drift out. So I snap that corner and it drifts out a little bit, but also when I come down and finish it, and I'm snapping that corner, she rises up a little bit. So I'm either hitting it too hard and I'm not locking back quick enough, or something to that effect. But so I don't feel I'm getting enough inside.
You could very easily have a flap elevator misalignment. When the flaps, say you give it down and your flaps are ahead, man, that rascal will come to attention in a heartbeat. But the up, it's like, oh, I can't turn, I'm sliding, then it catches. Really, if you watch your intersection, your horizontal eights, if they're not the same when you click it, if you lack a flap, it's sliding and your tail will drift by and you'll go too high. And the flaps are on the up ahead of time and the down, man, that round's easy. And you can click that intersection, bam, bam, and it drives easy. So watch your loops to
Okay.
make sure you got the same flap and elevator. That can be a problem too with what you're talking about.
Right.
And that's
I'm
easy.
trying to- and I know that's that's what's changing my the shape of the maneuver to actually improve it better, and that's what's hurting me on points.
Well, you can sure.
Sparky, you mentioned the overhang, and Sparky introduced me to that concept at the Nationals, and I really think that's a good thing you might want to look at. If you can extend your overhang a little bit, that way you can get back to neutral quick enough.
Right.
So you need extra overhang to do that. Is your handle adjustable in that way?
Yes.
When you pull the overhang in, it acts like power steering, so you oversteer it. When you let it out, it kind of slows the steering down. You don't have to widen them up. You just pull them out some. That's why the CAS handles are so nice.
Extend, so take my up hit line then and extend it out a little bit more.
Both top and bottom.
When you start making your handle out of adjustment, that's check your airplane first, Ruben. Fly your level laps. If it flies super, super good right side up laps, but in inverted and hunts, the flaps are down. The way you're talking, I bet you the flaps are up. So right side up lap.
I have no problem inverted. She tracks like it's on an iron board.
Okay, that's what
and same right side up. It tracks. I'm just not.
It tracks both ways.
It tracks both ways.
Well, then that ain't it. The flaps ain't
Overhang. And I don't mean move your handle like this. I'm talking about the overhang of the handle itself, where the lines come out of the handle.
Okay.
So you lengthen that and it will slow down the response time. So when you bang it, it'll lock. If you have them back here like this, you get a bounce.
Right. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting a bounce.
Overhang.
Are you getting it both sides or just one side?
One side only on inside maneuvers.
Okay, I still think your handles rock back at you too far.
Right. And I think that's what I'm doing. I'm because I can really hit down hard on my outsides, bring it around, lock in, and come right back to neutral and be right at level flight and have no problem. And any portion of maneuver, I feel like I'm hunting around too much on the inside. I'm trying to straighten that out. The plane's drifting. I've been doing that for a while. It's just now I'm really concentrating on how I correct it.
Steven, I think I had the exact problem that you're having right now. Exact problem. And for a fact, I knew my controls are moving up and down. They're aligned, they're equal, and all the good stuff, right?
Right.
So then what I found that it was all me that I was doing that. So what I was doing, I was flying with my hand like this, right?
Okay.
Stretched out, right? And because my lines are symmetric and are a little bit below, the plane always has this tendency because the center of pressure is below my hand, right?
Right.
And it was always pulling my plane. So it's like giving it, because of the pull, the plane wanted to go up all the time, right? And I found out that I have a lot of up and down. I was very lazy, right? Simply because you have the lines.
Your hands already down.
I had to put a lot more pressure on it down to make it move. I had to fight the plane plus myself, right? When up, the plane was helping me, right? Because of the pull and the misalignment. So what I found that's not working for me, at least. So right now I'm flying like this. I'm bending my handle from the elbow a little bit, so I have my handle straight up. So now my lines are going equally. They pull symmetric on my handle. There's no tendency of this or that. They just all straight out. And now I have equal turn and everything else. Nothing to do with the plane.
Yeah, because I
So
know
just
I
me.
think that's what I'm getting less turn when I'm pulling up. I'm getting less maneuver and turn. So that's why I got to figure out how I'm going to adjust that to give it more input on my up.
Probably the same idea, but you might be flying with it too much like this.
Right.
So you have less over here and you
I
have a
got,
lot of down.
I got less
You fly
movement. I
like
got less
this.
new. Joe's pretty right about that. What he was saying with that before, because he even mentioned you got a lot more down than you do have with the up maneuver. So I'm finding I'm giving myself a lot of input. And I'm probably even bending my elbow to hit it harder and get it and move it. But then I'm not locking myself back quick enough. So
When you bend your elbow, you can't get it back before you fly.
I can't
by.
back quick enough. No, 'cause I'm trying to work it too hard.
Exactly.
I'm giving the input up. And it's actually moving my arm. So yeah, I feel my elbow moving. So that ain't gonna help me there. I gotta find out how I'm gonna get more input up.
Shorten the up line 1/8 of an inch.
Shorten it.
Shorten the up line 1/8 of an inch and get used to that neutral. You'll be better off for it.
Okay,
I agree.
Absolutely right.
I
Joe.
agree.
that sounds right. Then that's what
Perfect.
I gotta try. I got something. I need something to like. I appreciate you telling me this. I've been
Nope.
doing this for years, and I've been having this situation where the plane's drifting on me, or when I'm trying to finish out a maneuver and she jumps up on me. That I got to find a way to do that. So let me try that. Let me definitely do. I gotta do
that.
something.
And
Yes.
really,
You
Ruben,
only, go ahead, Joe.
I want you to really, really, really pay attention in your level laps.
Right.
If it flies better one way or the other, usually for some reason, I can't tell you, Howard could probably tell us why, the elevators usually fly level and the flaps will reflex. If the flaps are reflexed up, man, your outside turns would be killer. They'll be groovy round, but your insides are skidding and hard to fly around maneuvers.
Like eggs.
It'll hunt upright and it'll groove inverted so good it's scary. And in my opinion, if you get a double clevis where you got one that turns both of them, a quarter turn's too much to get right sometimes. You got 1/8 of a turn will make a difference on that when you're righteous. And that'll change your neutral too now when you do that.
Right. Okay. Yeah, changing. I gotta try that then.
Watch your flight elevators. And if you
Right.
see it's pushing, like when you turn, it's pushing, the flaps are late, you gotta shorten the rod. And I
Yeah.
think that's what you have right now,
Yeah,
probably.
that's what it's doing on. That's what it's doing on the inside. The outsides, I could turn them hard and I could turn them tight. The insides want to. They're a
need to
little. It's like the loop
Shorten
turns
the
into
rod
an
so
egg.
much that it goes the other way. Then you'll know.
Yeah. And it looks like the loop almost looks like an egg as opposed to it wanting to come around quicker. It's taking its time more. But outside, I could snap that thing on a dime.
I
I could
guarantee
bring
your
it
flaps
around.
will
I see. Yeah, let me try changing that. So I was thinking whether I should take the handle spacing on the up and rise it higher. That's what I
I'm
thought.
against it a little bit. I
The
think you
further
need to have the
apart I can
airplane
make it.
right. If the airplane's right, that's not necessary, in my opinion, if it's built properly. Now, Katie bar the door. If you have to, you have to, I guess. But man, try to get the airplane to help you before you start shifting lines up and down. That's dangerous a little bit, in my opinion.
Right.
You're covering something up. Gordy, do you believe
Okay.
that?
I believe that exactly.
Okay,
You're trying to hide something instead of fixing it.
that's right.
Get the airplane right.
Yeah.
That was
No, from
fun.
what
I
you're
never-
saying, that makes more sense. I mean, this is the theory I thought of. That's why I discussed it now. But I like what you're saying. I'm going to shorten the line and adjust my neutral that way. That'll help. That should help it better. Let me
And don't
see how
like
that
try-
feels.
Fly it for a minute, see if it feels good before you start. If my neutral's not right, when I do a sharp turn, it'll be decreasing or climbing when I'm done. You know,
Right.
my neutral's a little off when I hit it and come back neutral. If it's still descending or starts climbing, that neutral's not set. And most of the
That's
time,
right.
when your neutral's not set, you're having to pull a pinky pressure or pull pointer finger pressure. If you're having to pull pressure, shorten that line that you're pulling pressure on to make it help you not have to do that.
Right.
Okay.
I try to adjust my handles, Joe, so they're exactly 90 degrees to the ground.
Me too.
I don't want it
I agree.
one way or the other. I want it perfectly vertical.
Sure.
And that's
I
a my
agree.
one wire.
Because you only have so much movement. If it's
So much
not
movement.
level, if your hand isn't level, you don't have enough up or enough down to get it where to go where you want it to go. You
Yeah,
have
because
to
I'm
have it
not
level.
happy with, I'm not, and I'm noticing because I'm looking at it now, looking at the videos, and I'm not happy with the way the maneuver is, and I'm working too hard to try to correct it, and I'm overcorrecting, and that's what I was saying in the beginning. I'm either overcorrecting, I'm too much or too little. I'm working on. So
Well, it's
there's-
like Joe
gotta be
said, you
something
only
that-
have
it's a
so
trim
much.
adjustment.
Yeah, it's like Joe said, you only have so much movement in your wrist. It
Yeah.
won't go any more than that. So if you need more than that, you can't get it without pulling your arm all out of shape, and that
Yeah,
screws everything.
Yeah, I lose everything on it. And that's what I started doing now. And I said, okay, so I'm either too much, too much input or not, and then sometimes not enough. And that's what's I'm not happy with that to fix the maneuver better. And that's been bugging me.
You start playing with that and don't be afraid to tape some sticks on stuff and look at your elevator flaps. But if you got video, you can see it in the video plain as day. If a loop's pushing on your horizontal lathe, you'll fly by there and your tail will do that before you turn because it's sliding and you're trying to get the intersection so you overdo it. The outside, you got a head of flaps, it'll come out and it'll click it perfect. But if it's sliding, you're probably not going to beat me.
If it's sliding on what?
If it's sliding during the maneuvers, you're gonna have a hard time beating me with it, I can assure you.
I
It's got-
know that, and that's why I'm trying to fix it because I got to see you in March again. Well, I'm in November actually. No, wait, I'm going to see you in November, and I'm going to give you a run for your money for it.
You might very well, son. There ain't no doubt about that.
I'm going to see you in November. I know that.
There's a
You
you
get
work
your
on that
B&B
airplane,
room?
get that airplane to help you.
Did you get your B&B room?
Where?
Vegas.
No, heavens no. That's
Why not?
1,000 miles away, man. I don't have an airplane by October, November. Well, by then I could be not flying the Blue Max. I'm flying Blue Max now to after team trial, but that's after team
Did
trial.
you-
So.
G Trussell and Barbara Trussell, they told you to get an Airbnb room, and I'm going to see you in November. I mean, that's why I'm busting my ass. I'm going to make sure I'm going to beat you. I'm going to give you one for your money. And then let me tell you, come see you in VSC. You're going to definitely have your work cut out for you.
That'd be all right. You get that airplane trimmed up.
All right, son.
Trimmed up. Gordy knows everything I've said. I promise you, Gordon knows.
Well, so far I do.
Because otherwise, I know I can't. I'm losing too many points with that happened. Like you're saying, the tails swaying like that. And
Steve, you got anybody around there that's a good pilot?
that knows how to fly the pattern like that? No. You're looking at Paul Walker right here.
Gonna say you could have somebody else flying. Get their
I beat
opinion.
Joe Gilbert.
Oh, that's funny.
Not yet.
I'm
Not
serious.
yet.
Nobody else flies pattern out here.
Well,
If you
I got a lot of stunt ships down in my hangar, and I'm sure Joe could outfly me flying my own airplane.
I don't know.
Let me tell you. Of course, Joe can. He comes out with a ringmaster and kicks everybody's ass.
Ah,
I know it.
Damn,
Fly mine,
29-ounce ringmaster.
he can beat me with my own airplane.
I don't know about that, Gordy. I've seen you fly. You do well.
The one that he flew
Gordy does
better than
good.
the
Gordy does
ringmaster,
really
the
well.
yellow T6.
I was always impressed watching Gordon fly. I liked him when he flew that his Japanese USA one.
Yeah, that was 10 or
Yeah,
15
Blanca.
years ago.
That was a fun airplane to watch. I usually like watching that airplane fly.
He had a Balanica Viking one time.
I still
that-
have.
It got wet. Remember? I remember it getting wet. Did you save it?
Well, I tried to at VSC this year, and I put a different motor in it, and the motor was sick, and it ended up coming in on the lines because the inboard wheel had got rusty from the water. And so it came in on me on takeoff. And I ran back and got the lines tight, but the lines were going around Bart's forehead.
I'm sorry, that's bad.
I know. And I got line tension. Well, he reached up and flipped the lines off. Now I don't have line tension. But anyway, I say to just a pancake, scrape the outboard tip of just a tiny bit. So Bart had another McCoy, and we put that in there, and it flew fine. Controls are still a little bit stiff. You know,
That was a beautiful airplane.
I think the water is. It had so much water in it, you swear you put a garden hose in there.
That's what you said. I remember that. I wonder if it ever dried out straight.
Yeah. It was,
Oh,
well,
good.
all my glute joints were showing. I mean, I was just sick. And it flew very well. It was a very good flying classic airplane.
Yes, it was.
You know, and I'm trying to think of his name that designed that. Anyway, he was flying it with a Fox 35. He was flying on, I think he said 64-foot lines.
Oh,
Had that Fox
A lot of line.
wall.
that's a lot of line. Man,
There's a lot of line.
For a Fox 35, yes.
I'm a 58 footer on Foxes, baby. I
Yeah.
want that where I can help it if I need to.
Well, I got 7 foot on my Foxes.
You got
Joe,
what?
not if,
70
when.
foot lines on my twin.
That's
I owed too much. You know, we clocked that years ago when it was fairly new. And at the beginning of flight, it was flying 49 miles an hour.
slow?
Yep.
My
You did the
goodness.
whole pattern with it. And then when
Wow.
the motors leaned out, we clocked it again and it was doing the balls out at 51 miles an hour.
Didn't matter.
Lord.
Wow. 49, man, that's slow.
Well, you got 1,000 square inches to deal with.
1,000?
Yeah.
Those were the days when you used to free flight over the top of the reverse wing over though.
No, that
Never
20
done that.
flight, John.
You gotta have some guns to fly that baby.
Yeah, you put lead in your shorts so it doesn't lift you off the ground.
You bet. Wow.
Hey, Gordon, not that you probably watched, but did you see the sewing of the ribs on this airplane?
The what?
Sewing of the ribs.
Sewing?
Yeah. Where I stitched the ribs together.
Oh, no. Oh, yes, I did too. Where you run a thread down them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What do you
did.
think of that?
Well, it sure doesn't hurt. Was
Yeah.
that was Kevlar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I doubt if you could break it with your hand.
What's that?
I doubt if you could wrap it around your hands, it'd probably cut your hands trying to break it.
Bet
No,
you
I'll give you
can't.
$100 if you can do it.
No, I bet you
Oh,
that
yeah.
wing's
It's locked up now.
dang right.
Yeah, once you put the covering on, those I-beamers, especially if you get 2 or 3 coats on them, boy, they get tough out on the wingtip.
I don't have any dope on this yet. One coat.
Awesome.
How come you went with silk span instead of polyspan?
Polyspan takes too much dope.
What, 2 coats and they're filled?
Yeah, I don't think so. I got polyspan on my Continental and it's got more than 2 coats on it and I still can see the grain in that.
Okay, how many coats do you put on an airplane time you get it finished?
1 quart of paint, that's all I got.
Does that paint include dope or dope and color both?
Okay, I take 1 quart of clear. I
Okay.
pour it off into 2 jars, fill them both up with thinner.
Right,
About 2 ounces of white in the base coat paint, which is this one right here, and I use this for base. So this is actually a 1/2 quart of clear, 1/2 quart unthinned. So I put that on as the base. Then I spray a half a pint of color, which in this case is going to be white in some areas and light blue in others. It'll take a half a pint to do that. And then I have the other half a quart for the top coat, and that's it. And that's a 6-ounce finish or thereabouts.
Or
Wow.
maybe less.
So
Now, is
You
that
say, Joe?
covering?
that dope's not very heavy, man. It's light.
Yep. Most of my
it's the,
plants are dope.
it's the single heaviest thing next to your engine on the airplane is the paint. Any single item, first comes the engine, then comes the paint. It's heavier than a fuel tank, it's heavier than wheels, heavier than the spar, it's heavier, I mean, it's just the way it is, and it's spread out everywhere.
How big is that airplane, Sparky? Is that a 660 airplane?
About 720.
What did it weigh in bare balsa? No gear? Just bare
20
balsa.
24 ounces.
24. That's gonna be a good lightweight.
I wish it was 21, but
What's it right now?
26.
26. You only put 2 ounces so far, so you're doing good.
Covering and 3 coats of dope on the wood, and then 1 coat of dope on the tissue. And
Right.
this is all that's left for substrate. So it'll probably be up to 27 and a half, 28 ounces when this is on there. And then I'll get my half pint of color on there. It'll be just a splits. And then the quart of clear, you know, which is just a half. When I say a quart, that's quart thin, but it's a half a quart of raw material, and that's the top coat. And the shine comes from the elbow grease.
Well, the thinner doesn't weigh anything. It's gone.
You can use all the thinner you want. Right?
That's right.
Yeah, you can use 10 gallon of thinner if you think that's what it needs. And there are times when I have sprayed 90% thinner just so I could get what was left out of the can on the airplane.
Let it flow.
And when you're out of paint, you're done painting. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a heavy airplane. You just keep, you know, Kenny Stevens, he has a gallon of clear on that concourse airplane of his. It's beautiful. It looks just like urethane, but it's 75 ounces.
Wow.
Oh,
I mean, the airplane is beautiful, but paint weighs a ton.
You know, my last Heinz 57 was, I don't know if you saw it at the Nats, it was orange, white, and black.
I think so.
And anyway, I had it all together. It was 39 ounces. So I pulled everything back out of it, cleaned it up. And it was still brand new. It hadn't been flown yet. And I sprayed a couple more coats of clear on it. And I finally got it up to 41 ounces. And I thought 39 was too light for the square inches. And I figure I might as well put it on there with clear dope and make it shine more, which it did. So,
And how did it fly?
well, it had potential if I hadn't glued the fuselage in crooked. It banged corners like you can't believe. But anything above 45, it wanted to come and see me.
Uh-oh, that's not cool.
And my daughter was wiping it off for me there at BSC one year, and I was talking to Bob Whiteley, and she happened to turn it up and put the wingtip on her toe while she wiped it. And I says, Bob, does that fuselage look crooked to you in the wing? He says, hell yes, I can see it from here.
Ugh.
So,
banana,
pardon?
banana.
No, crooked. Pointed in on you.
Instead of being glued in the wing straight, it was glued in there crooked.
I'll be darned.
Called brain cramp.
That was a brain fart on my part.
Brain cramp.
Yep. Oh, I
Been
felt
there,
so
been
bad.
there, done that.
It came out to be a beautiful, beautiful airplane. But if it don't fly, it might as well be an ugly one. So anyway, that's why I'm building a new one. The new one, I got it glued in straight this time.
Hey, Len,
Yeah.
I wanted to share with you my technique about knowing if it's smooth enough.
I'm ready.
Okay, I just take my hand and run it over the wing, for example. And if I don't bleed, it's smooth enough.
Love it. It sounds
Okay.
like my way of doing things. I'm in.
Works every time.
Damn. Mark, you're the best friend I got.
There you
Built
go.
it for
That was awesome.
I'll give you
Here's
20 points right now.
Here's a trick to sanding that thing flat, Lenny. Get yourself
Okay.
a soft block like this. This is a kind of a sponge block. Wrap it with, this is a 400 grit that I'm sanding this with,
Okay.
but wrap it with your 2000 or whatever you're sanding. Have a good light above you and get down and look like this. And if you see any shiny spots, those are low. And you want to sand all the lows out of it until the whole thing is flat. And you'll
It's
go,
flat.
you'll go, God, I just ruined it. No, you didn't. Then you polish it up from there.
Okay. Gotcha.
One thing
Look,
that's different than you said, Sparky, is I start with 600.
Okay, well, if you
And
got a big
that's-
orange peel,
I'll start with anything I can as long as I don't go into the color coats. It's all good.
the 600 is going to be more aggressive, but I wet sand it.
right, this is all wet. You got a wet sand.
And once I start getting it flat, then I go back over it with 1,000 and 1,200.
and what,
Okay.
deepest I went was 800. Started with 800 to 1,000, 1,200, and moved up.
That's all about learning how to sand. If you got a lot of material to move, like if you watch me sand on my videos, I start with 24 grit. And it just peels the balsa off like shredding, like shredded beef. But you got to know when to stop, and so you can step down
Exactly.
to 80 and then 150. So that's why I asked you, so what paper do you start with? Well, I don't know how the
How
coarser,
rough is it? Okay, I get you.
the
Okay.
rougher the surface is, the coarser the grain you want, because you don't want to be sanding.
Yeah.
You don't want to take a piece of 5,000 grit sandpaper and be rubbing on it.
Now you'll be here for 60 months. Yeah, I get you.
Right. So you're just
Okay.
moving material is all you're doing. So you
Yeah.
use your best judgment. If
For sure.
it's not working, step down,
Yeah, I'm gonna start with something around 800 and see how it's coming off. If it's smoothing out, I'll stick with it. If it
If-
seems like it's not doing it, I'll go a little more.
If the
A little
water
coarser.
starts turning blue, stop sanding.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't want the water going blue.
A blind man could almost sand. When you sand, it goes. It's
You can
done
hear
cut.
it.
You can hear it when it's done.
Yeah.
Zach, yep.
That's a good point.
Blind
True,
man.
you can hear it when it's done.
And when it's done,
It
you need
gets
to
very
stop.
quiet when, yeah,
God.
when it gets quiet, it's done. That's right.
Roger was sanding his last coat there before we clear coat it tomorrow. And I was sitting about 5 feet from him, and I could hear when all of a sudden it got smooth, got real quiet. And he'd move on to another place, and I'd hear it removing material. He's just sanding
Quiet.
clear.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm doing tomorrow. That's my first job before I put the next coat on.
Don't try to
Sand her
get it
down.
all off one time.
Right.
It's
no,
gonna take
I'll-
you time. It's gonna take you time to get that dog.
Sand
Sneak
it
up.
with a
I figure
block.
I'm gonna do the block thing. I think the block thing sounds smart,
Ab-
Sparky, because
It
then
takes
you know
longer
you
to do
get it
that
flat.
it takes longer to do that finish than build the airplane.
Well, you don't want to use the block on curved areas, though.
Oh,
Soft
no,
block.
okay, yeah.
Soft block. This is like a sponge. It's
Little
for-
bitty.
Stay up the corners, stay up the leading edge. You can burn right through them right away.
See this
on the
standing
edges.
block? Let me take it out of here. It holds water too. You buy it at a body shop. It comes in a 3.5 inch wide by 6 inches long, but I cut them
You
up.
just cut it up, whatever, you cut it in whatever size you want. Yeah,
See,
perfect.
they're soft for going around corners, and it's got
Oh,
a
That's beautiful.
hard spot on the back for flat and a soft spot on this side for round corners. So when you're sanding, you can
Nice.
turn it, you can
That
Wow.
way you can get even pressure. Yeah, that's cool.
contour it.
Very nice. All right. I'm learning here, folks. That's awesome.
So
Pro body shop.
Much appreciated.
Yeah,
Well, that's why I'm asking questions. I'm by far still not a professional when it comes to finishing. I can build a decent airplane. I'm not the best at finishing still. And as Sparky said a few years ago, you need to get closer to your sandpaper.
That's right.
yeah.
Here's another thing
You're
on the
right
nose,
you're right
on the
on top
nose of an
them.
airplane, Len. Don't sand this way. You'll sand a flat in it. You want to sand it like this around the bias,
Okay, that makes sense. Totally.
and then
all
come
right.
back and sand it the other way. You exit back this way, and that way
Yeah,
it'll
I
stay
see.
round instead of
E-
facets in it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool.
Sparky, do you have any dope on the wing at all?
One coat.
One coat?
Yeah.
And now you're gonna put the white on next?
No, I'm gonna.
Got
gonna-
white in it.
This is clear dope with white tint in it.
Oh, I see.
And so this airplane, the very first coat was tinted clear, and it just comes up white from the base. So it doesn't take but a half pint of white to put a nice, nice shine on the thing.
Wow.
About 4 ounces of white paint will cover this. And then any trim colors you want to put on it as well.
And when you guys talk about wet sanding, what are you using to wet the sandpaper? Just water or using?
Soap and water.
I use Windex, but warm water
Go
with
to the dollar store, buy that soap that they got in there, the dish soap, and mix that in there with your water, and you're good to go. You can soak up your paper in it. You got a nice soft pad like Sparky's using, and you soak up the pad, soak up your paper, and good to go.
you can
Don't be
use
afraid to get the plane
Prepsol.
wet.
Prepsol makes it cut faster. Just water with a couple drops of soap in it, or I use Windex, but whatever.
Awesome.
Very good.
I'm watching Sparky sand there. Look at that motion. He's done that a lot of times, I can tell.
Yeah.
Years worth.
Yeah, but 50 years worth. That's right.
Where's Dennis?
How about-
Dennis is right there, Dennis. Hey, Dennis, say hi, everybody.
He's in there hiding. Good morning, afternoon.
You're muted, Dennis. You got to put down your boom.
You guys are talking about painting, so I'm being very quiet. I have nothing to add to the conversation.
A while since you painted one, eh, Dennis?
You paint with an iron.
Well, I haven't painted an airplane in 30 years, but that's going to be changing here this fall. So
All right.
You monocoat all your fuselages as well, huh, Dennis?
yep.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
I've never monocoated a fuselage. I'm scared.
Yeah, you do it the same old
Some
way.
things just petrify me. I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
I see what fuel does. Now you don't have fuel to deal with. I bet if you were still
Well,
using fuel,
even
you'd paint the
even
fuselage.
my
No, you
even
can
my
do that
gas airplanes, I was monocoating fuselages and everything like that. I started doing that when I
Wow.
was flying radio, and I just continued doing it.
You do
So
Monaco, ultra coat, and then you can always cover up your seam lines with another color that you're overlapping with it.
well, it's it. I mean, the guys who are really good at it, the seams, the color changes and stuff like that are all part of the they hide the seam by putting it in plain sight, with
Lewis Rankin, Dennis?
color change. Yeah, I've never seen any of Lewis's work, but I understand he was a real master
He's the
at it.
best.
So
You can't tell they're painted or not.
mhm.
They're beautiful.
I always remember the best monocoat winner at the Toledo RC show was by our standards, a 19 or 20 point airplane. All right.
I got,
So
no, I like the
that's, I
Monaco.
mean,
and I
it
like,
can, you can get
ultras.
there from here. You can do a really, really good job with it.
Danny,
Uh,
you remember Face Steely?
yes,
That was his name, the guy with,
yeah, Face
he
Theater. I
came
got his
colors
book
on
and
there.
everything else. Yep.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, but he routinely won the best Monaco
Yes.
job.
Yep.
And there was a young lady there whose name escapes me. She was really good at it too. Oh boy, that's going to drive me crazy trying to remember who she was. You know who I mean, Mark?
I don't.
Yeah.
Another good monocoder is Norm Whittle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Well, he covers the airplane with silk span, puts a couple coats of clear on it, lightly sands it, and then he monocoats it.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
It never sags,
wow.
never gets loose.
That's something.
I think he
Mhm.
That
clears
on
it
my
with
note on
urethane
the,
too, doesn't he?
On the tail feathers. I just put tissue and dope on the tail feathers, and I put Monaco over that, and it worked great.
Yep.
I never did that. I'd never finish an airplane.
You know, there's a thread on that. In the finishing section, Larry Ranger was championing that. And there's a lot of people who've been doing that using like paper, doctor paper. Some people even use polyspan
Yeah.
and stick it down, typically with
Fix it.
what's that stuff? The iron out the sticky stuff.
Iron X.
No.
No, this is actually stuff from the craft stores.
Mod Podge.
Yeah,
Mod
Mod
Podge?
Podge. They were using that, sticking the paper down and then putting plastic covering over that, and you get a reinforced the paper reinforces the monocoat. It's an incredibly tough finish that very durable and everything like that. I don't know. I haven't had an issue with monocoat durability. I've had an issue with just execution. So
I did a monocoat job on one of my Tiger 51 ships, about 40 squares, and I got 18 appearance points.
mm,
Well, that's pretty good.
That's what I got on my Blue Angel.
Thanks.
I did that the Monaco
Mhm.
job.
I'll tell you another person, Ted Fancher. I was arguing with him about his finish on his imitation. And I said, boy, you got a lot of elbow grease in that black. And he says, yeah, that monocoat's pretty good stuff. I said, that's not monocoat. And he's kneeling down. He picked it up and poked it up in my face. He says, what is it, Gordy? And I reached up and touched it. And by darn, it was monocoat. But it looked like
Wow.
it looked out like a rubbed out black paint ship. It was beautiful.
mhm, mhm. Yep, you can get there from here.
Well, he was sure good.
Wow.
Yeah, but there's other issues too. There are appearance judges will say, "Oh, monocoat, 12."
Yep.
Yep, yep.
Oh,
That's not,
I agree with
that's
you,
not
Dennis.
fair.
No, it's not,
That's
but
not
it is
fair.
true.
That's just
That's why
not
it's
right.
not-
You know,
Well, you
the
come
first
right
time I
down
went to
it.
the,
I
Yeah,
was
go
just
ahead.
going to say, if you take a look at, gee, that's an easy finish. Monocoat is simple, right? Anybody can do that. Well, Detroit paints something the size of a pickup truck in a base coat, clear coat process, and they put them out every 30 seconds. Tell me what the idiot finish is.
Electrostatic.
All right. So, that's not, not knocking, there's some beautiful airplanes out there and everything like that. But, the automotive finishes and stuff, in my mind, have made appearance points obsolete. So,
Dennis, I agree with you there because I had people, I used to like monocoating a lot and using ultra coat on the wing and monocoat.
yeah.
And the finishes were nice. And you get some places, they'll give you a good 15 or 16 with them. You'll have other people, they're just hard straight up saying monocoat's a 10 or 12.
Yeah, that's it.
And they're just stuck to that.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, not fair.
we have had, I'd say the highest pointing Monaco jobs I've seen at the Nationals, I think, are probably Bruce Jennings he's done some really, really pretty airplanes with monocoat finishes, but I think even he's got a mix of monocoat flying surfaces and painted fuselage and stuff like that. That's a good solid approach. But so anyhow, the only issue you ever get into with something like that is just color matching and stuff like that between the paint and the plastic and all. But
Cool.
but
Hey,
I
guys, I'm
think
gonna-
a bit of creativity you can get there. So
You guys, I want to end the live stream. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. We've had good conversation tonight. And hopefully you have a chance to do some flying this weekend or work in your shop. And hey, Labor Day is Monday, but we're going to still do the Hangout. So, please tune in Monday. Come in. We're going to have a good old time. And I just want to thank everybody for coming in. Appreciate it very much. So make sure you hit the like button. Please consider joining our YouTube channel memberships. And don't forget the super thanks if you're watching the replay and support us. Thank you very much.